Alright, so I guess we're starting a podcast, right? Yeah, welcome to the future, bitch. I got my hands on it, but I don't know, one name for real. As soon as I'm able to change the Addy on the YouTube, on that YouTube thing, you know, because I'm old, but yeah, as soon as I'm able to change the Addy, we're gonna become the Romans times. But I'm trying to get my thought here for a second. I've been watching so much news and so much ops. You know what I mean? You gotta study the ops. You gotta study the ops. But point being, okay, we're back live transmission. Message from the big head. But no, hashtag Yoda Akbar. This is what I'm trying to say, because sometimes I get sick of typing, but I guess I'll type it too, I guess. So yeah, for you, future president 2024, hashtag me, vote. I have to take it old school, y'all. Like, I'm gonna put it this way, right? Like, I'm a big believer in like the fundamental like branches of the law. They're not bad. Here in America, they're like some of the best ones. Like, they are. But I mean, again, like abuse of power, corruption, you know, sellouts, like brand association, like corporations giving all these like influencers, like little ass kids, sex sells, like money. And they wonder why like these kids don't know how to fucking earn a buck or like the value of a money, and like they're generating all these like multi-millionaires that really don't know what to do with their money majority of the time. And then like leadership does fall under money, so then what happens? Like, you're being led by a bunch of like, at the end of the day, like self-involved morons. I'm sorry. That's why we have the electoral college, all that jazz put into place in the past world within like time frames, right? That's why it's there for. That's because of those reasons. So that's why we need to protect it. But we need to be more transparent, and we need to be better at regulating these branches and like separating them and making sure that they are like autonomous from each other, just like it is within tech. There's no problem within like corporations buying and selling and trading each other, but the most important fundamental thing when thinking about these mergers, to me as your future president of the United States of America, would be user data privacy. It's okay, sell it, but you know what? Fry the server. Fry it. Gone. Data totally wiped. User data identification completely wiped clean. That's why, like, you know, verifyme.com and all these like third parties, they need to go. Like, I understand like public records is public records, but public records should not be inside such like networks, you know. It should not be sitting in these servers. Like, that's how people get hacked. That's how, you know, hashtag deep dark web stories, you know. That's how that shit happens, is those type of sites. Like, stalkers, like, they need to go. Hashtag you need to leave. And so yeah, they need to go. They really do need to go. I mean, there's no reason with people like, again, going back, you know, sounding contradictory or like being contradicted within myself, and that's within myself. I'm trying to balance it out. So you know, I'm within right to pivot, right? Hashtag Wall Street. But yeah, I'm allowed to pivot my thought. And, you know, when it comes down to it, that's the way just the law should function. But yeah, data privacy. Like, you're more than welcome to buy each other and trade each other, but data, like user data function stays there. Boom. Matter of fact, it doesn't stay there. Like, I'm not. When it comes to trading corporations and user data, like, it's not like keeping filings of your taxes and like business taxes within like 10 years and like stockpiling fucking boxes of taxes, like boxes inside a freaking storage shed. I mean, that's the ecosystem of like taxes and storage sheds, right? And how, like, you know, whatever it's called, Staples stays in business with little boxes and shit. But nonetheless, yeah, so I hope you're flowing with me, vibing with me. Welcome to the stupid little podcast situation. We'll title it Your Future President 2024. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy how I'm here changing so much stuff in the background, and you know, it's kind of like Addy Dochi. Like, I figured a way to make money from my phone, y'all, and no like hashtag Uber type of like mentality of making economics where like it's like a downright like stupid hustle. It's a stupid hustle. It really is. It's a hustle. Like, they're just doing what? Promising a dream, building debt, you know? They're really coming to the table with nothing. Like, keep that in mind. They're coming to the table with nothing, y'all. Nothing. All they're offering you is a server that serves you orders. And within that server, Uber is learning about customer purchases. Like, you know, there was this podcast I listened to, and like, I'll try to dig it up or whatever, but she was great at informing, like, in regards to technology. Like, she is just a great advocate for like transparency within technology. Like, I'll dig her up. Like, it's been so long since that one, but I'll dig it up. But yeah, I mean, we'll take it back, that story, if some of y'all would remember or whatever, but that story about how Target, I believe it was Target, with their systems, they're able to like predict basically by the like 3 purchases, they could like know if a woman's pregnant or not. And like CVS or Walgreens or something like that, if you're familiar with that time lapse of that story within that like tech world, and then take it back that far, I don't remember, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, right? But imagine like how tech and technology just progress so fast forward. I mean, it's because of user data and information. And at this point, it's intellectual like property, like theft of intellectual property, because it can be hid behind feedback and click this and click that for, you know, participation to build something better. Like, if they build something better, it's like private prisons. Like, they're building a private prison for you. Then please come back. I'll wait here while I try to enjoy the last of my popcorn, because, you know, corn's going away, you know, because Microsoft is buying all the land, farming land, because they got this big great like utopia, like Gestapo like type of thinking, where they're just gonna make all this agriculture into robots, and that's just not the way agriculture does. It's just like that just current story just now that's trending, right? In regards to, does things taste better when somebody else does it? Hell yeah, it does. Because, you know, I've been preaching on forever and a half to like my friends and my public, you know, in regards to how, you know, when it comes to food, I'd rather go somewhere where like the employees are happy, in a good positive mood, because the food does taste better energetically. Like, you put your focus on that like that, and you know, it's just same ingredients, same recipe, but you know, different people. It's about the love, y'all. You know what I mean? It's about the love, just that, and just general, you know. So nothing tastes better than like that dish that your favorite loved one makes you, right? Especially when it comes to food, and if you're a foodie or whatever, you know, it's comfortsome, right? It's comfortable. It's what connects us. And because I was earlier just thinking to myself that I was making, you know, my significant other, they, them, he, her, I don't know what to identify as, but anyways, I was making lunch for my spouse, and I put salsa on top of a tamal and some egg, right? And it looks so yummy, but it looks so ick. And I was like, because I've been like right now all about Indian culture in Mecca, right? And I'll expand on like my Mecca and my future president thoughts in just a moment. But how, you know, certain plates in Indian culture and like Central, like South Asian, Indian, I don't know, like I call it South Asian, you know? To me, it's South Asian. You know what I mean? It's South Asia to me. And then you got this Middle East. But South Asia has these plates that are just delicious, right? But they look like slob. They look like slob, total slob. But when you get some of that naan bread and like you mix that slob, like especially to me, it's like salsa. You know, because I'm Mexican, so I think of it more as salsa or like guisado. So like a veggie guisado, because they're like mostly vegetarian over there, right? Because like they deal more with milk and honey than they do with, you know, beef, because cows are sacred to them, majority of them, right? But nonetheless, I don't even know what I was talking about. I was cooking. Anyways, yeah, so beef and all that. But yeah, in India, it looks like slop. Like, I'll be honest, right? It looks like slop, because even guisado and like some loose like refried beans and like some rice all mixed together on a plate looks like slop too. So don't get it twisted, you know? But it's so good. And some people would interpret that and like be like, ugh, like that's what like your spouse made you to like eat, like they must not love you. But like, it's like, shut up, fool. Like, you don't even know. Like, you put that slob in your mouth and you're like, oh my god, you know? Like, I don't know. Andrew Tate, I think that's his name. If you look at my community tab on YouTube, then you will see like, yeah. You would see it, yeah. You would see that. And then there's a cool way and a lame way for something, and some people may not like what he has to say, but there ain't no reason to really. I mean, that's the whole thing about censorship. Like, how far it's like freedom of speech and slander. You know, I'm here thinking last time in regards to like, you know, political ads and all this misinformation and so this, and like I'm like, if I would be the president of this country, so that's why I'm starting this little podcast, this little rant thing. Like, I don't know, I'm not gonna tell you I'm gonna upload once a week or whatever. I'm gonna upload whenever the hell I want. Tag along if you want to tag along, don't, whatever, you know. But yeah, I mean, sponsored by Casper mattress. Joke, if you're gonna get it. If you're if you're into podcasts, you fucking get the whole thing about this is sponsored and brought to you by Casper, or like Casper. I've always wanted one, but I don't know, that powder thing that threw me off on like social media. I never like capped it or not, but I just like, I don't know, I'm just not even within my budget to buy a Casper mattress. You know, they say they're the cheapest one, but you know, that's like white people privilege type of buying shit, you know, like that type of economy. I'm talking about like that type of middle class, because you know, racially, like, you know, when we like fragment each other from each other or whatever, but when we put borders amongst our races, there is, you fall into different classifications of middle class, lower class, and upper class within that, like, race or whatever you want to genderify it as. But but yeah, I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to start going back and like listening to my stuff anyways to like stay more on topic and more on point, because I'm really just laying out like this big old ordeal, and I guess I'm making a social experiment within, like, hey, hashtag, really, this is gonna be the hashtag future president United States 2024. So if you're down with me, spread the hashtag. That's the beauty about hashtags. And later down, I guess I'll go into more about, that's what it was called, the podcast, creepy tech. And that's the whole thing about it. Like, think about tech as a creepy thing, like as a karmic, as a stalker. Like, that's what tech is. Like, and again, corporations, don't lose me into like, this guy is just making a bunch of random nonsense. It's just, I don't have enough resources. Like, I got to do it all myself, and this is the best way I can do it. Put it all down together and see who comes in, like, helps out, helps me within my cause, I guess. But it is what it is, right? Like, a little bit of resources, a little bit of funds will be great, especially like if they're public. And go ahead and send them to my Cash App, because within my Cash App I will transfer them over to my normal bank account through debit, and then I will be charged a fee to do that, right? And so Patriot Act, like, don't overreach. Like I stated to the Supreme Court, like, I just think we should not be overreaching, and I'm so sick of the overreach. And hashtag future president United States 2024, right? Once again. But I'm in the car, inside my Toyota Camry SE, middle class, because I guess you could call me middle class in my Mexican, like, confinements of race. But yeah, hablo muy bien el español, yo creo. And I try to like get into other languages and stuff like that, and like for the most part, instinctually I understand, just because of simple italics, and like I think that's a benefit of being like fluent in Spanish, is italics in general. So it's like, I don't know, it's just, if you get it, you get it. But I'll finish it with this, and then I'm just gonna go about my business for a little bit, go dig around the internet, try to like, figure out a way to like bring in the new era. But and then y'all could just go about your business, because like that's really what I want to do, y'all. I want to run a country 8 years. Hashtag future president United States 2024. I want to run the country. I want to run the world from my phone for 8 years. And here's my thought about how I want to weaponize the media against y'all. So I'll be honest. I will restructure the media to like police you socially, publicly. Because to me the internet is a public forum. It really is a Zócalo. That's the best way I could put it as. Like, in Mexico you have a Zócalo, Times Square, like a square, like a square. I don't know, like European people get it too. But a plaza, like, and yeah, everybody should have a key. In order for you to get into like the major parts of like purchasing, making purchases online, especially purchases. That's mostly my concern and my most focus of view, right? would be online purchases and like data privacy within like product, like, because if you continuously like transition this type of like documentation, not so much in paper files but in like servers, it's not right, because that's where you lose innovation, where you lose competitiveness, you know, like that's the way I see it. I'm not here to just put a bunch of regulations and spy through you online, because like shit, I don't like people going through my search history, period. So I mean, not only that, I've had a great idea in regards to like better OS and like just simply like going communist on technology. That's what I'm saying. I will not ever, there's the best way I could put it to you in regards to how I'm thinking about hashtag basic human rights and patriotism. And yeah, so I mean, 2024 is, you know, a year away right now. Today is 10/28. I don't know what date. I barely figured out it was Monday a little earlier today. Like, I was like, holy shit, I looked at the date on the phone or whatever, and I was like, oh shit, I thought it was Sunday, but it's Monday. Monday, 10/28 Central Time.